A lot of cat owners believe cats do not understand human language. But the truth is a little more uncomfortable. They might understand you. They just do not think you are that important. Why does that happen? Some experiments suggest that cats can recognize familiar words, and most importantly, they can recognize their own names. So yes, your cat may understand more than you think. You call Miu, and nothing happens. Not even a look. But the second you say a word your cat loves, or shake the food container, it jumps up right away. So when your cat does not respond, is it because it does not understand? Or is it making a choice to completely ignore you? Does your cat ever pretend to be deaf? Comment YES, and I will read it. Many people think cats do not understand human words. But that is not true. Cats actually understand more than we expect. Sometimes, they simply choose not to respond. A study from Sophia University in Japan discovered something interesting. Cats can recognize their own names. They can even recognize it when a stranger says it. So yes, your cat probably knows exactly when you are calling. But cats react very differently from dogs. They do not wag their tails or run toward you. Instead, the reaction is very small. Maybe a slight ear twitch, a quick glance, or a tiny flick of the tail. Those tiny reactions show something important. Cats can clearly tell the difference between familiar and unfamiliar sounds. So when you call your cat, and it stays completely silent, it probably understood you. The real question is not whether your cat understands you. The real question is, did your cat decide it was worth responding? Or did it simply choose to ignore you? Cats can understand what they hear, but their reactions look incredibly lazy. They do not run towards you like dogs do. Instead, they send very tiny signals. The first signal is the ears. When a cat hears a familiar word, its ears quietly turn toward the sound. Sometimes they lift up or rotate just slightly to locate where the voice came from. The second signal is the eyes and head. A cat may give a quick side glance or turn its head just a little, like it is thinking, "Who just called me?" The third signal is the tail. Even while lying down, a cat might give a tiny tail flick, just a soft movement, almost like a quiet reply. These reactions happen very quickly, sometimes in just 1 or 2 seconds. So many people think the cat ignored them, but in reality, the cat already heard you. The real moment comes right after that. Your cat pauses and thinks for a second. Is it worth standing up, or should I just stay here? Have you ever called your cat's name, and it just keeps lying there, not moving, not reacting, almost like it did not hear anything at all? Because of this, many people assume something simple. Maybe the cat does not understand human words. Maybe it just hears noise. But the truth is often the opposite. Your cat probably understood the moment you called. Cats are naturally independent animals. In the wild, they hunt alone. They survive by making their own decisions. So when a cat hears something familiar, like its own name, it reacts very differently from a dog. Instead of rushing over, the cat makes a quick decision. Is this worth my attention? Is there food? A toy? Something interesting? If nothing exciting is happening, the cat may simply stay where it is, not because it did not understand you, but because, in its mind, there is no reason to move. Researchers have noticed something interesting. Even when cats appear to ignore their owners, their bodies still react in tiny ways. An ear turns, the eyes glance, or they look at you for just a moment. So when your cat seems to ignore you, do not assume it is confused. Most of the time, your cat understands perfectly. It is simply choosing not to answer. Cats do not learn language the way humans do. They do not hear a word once and understand its meaning. Instead, cats learn in a very practical way, through repetition,
When a word is repeated in the same situation, the cat's brain starts to connect the pattern. It hears the sound and expects something to happen next. Sound first, then the event.
The easiest example is feeding time. If every time before feeding, you say a word like food or treat, or simply call the cat's name, eventually the cat learns the pattern.
After a while, the moment it hears that word, the cat already knows what is coming. Some cats will even run toward you immediately, not because they understand human language, but because they learned the rule. Your tone of voice matters too. A warm and cheerful voice often means good things, petting, playing, or a small reward. But a tense or angry voice feels very different. Cats notice that instantly. So cats may not understand words like a dictionary would, but they are extremely good at something else. They connect sounds with emotions and with outcomes, and over time, those small daily routines teach your cat certain words, not through language lessons, but through patterns that repeat every single day. Cats do not understand human language the way we do. They are not analyzing vocabulary. They are not thinking about grammar or sentences. But that does not mean they do not understand you. Cats learn in a different way. They connect sounds with experiences. When the same word appears in the same situation again and again, their brain starts building a pattern. Maybe before feeding time, maybe during play, or when you gently pet your cat. If the same word is repeated in those moments, the cat begins to remember it. So when the cat hears that sound again, it starts predicting what will happen next. Food might appear, a toy might move, or a gentle hand might come to pet it. That is why when you call your cat's name, or repeat familiar words every day, your cat may understand far more than you think. Its reaction is just more subtle, and sometimes a little unpredictable. And here's the funniest part. Sometimes your cat is not silent because it did not understand. Sometimes it stays quiet because it understood perfectly, and it is deciding whether you're worth answering.